If everyone could please rise. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you, all guests, for being here, honored guests, community leaders, dignitaries, and mayor and council-elect. Welcome to the inaugural meeting of the City of Nanaimo's 119th City Council for the years 2022 to 2026. We acknowledge and recognize that this meeting is being held on the traditional territory of the Nanaimo First Nation. My name is Sheila Gurry, the Director of Legislative Services, and I am your Master of Ceremonies this evening. Thank you to the bagpiper, Graham Davidson, the Honor Guards, RCMP Constable Eric Jacobson, Constable Quinn Howells, as well as Lieutenant Blair Pinker and firefighter Tony Chan from Nanaimo Fire and Rescue for leading the procession of Mayor and Council to the stage. And I'd like to also note that this is Veterans Week in Canada, as we wear the poppies in remembrance to honor all the brave Canadians who served and defended our country. I now call this meeting to order. First, if you could remain standing, I'd like to please welcome Mr. Timothy Von Bedeker for the singing of our national anthem, O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Von Bedeker. Audience, you may be seated. Council members, please remain standing. I would like to thank former mayors, Mr. John Rattan and Mr. Bill McKay, for attending this evening. I haven't seen Mr. McKay, former mayor, but I've heard he was coming. It's an honor to have you with us, as well as former counselors. It is my pleasure to call upon Snuneymuxw First Nation Elder Lolly Good to provide us a blessing.
I Honatnet. I Square. I'd like to acknowledge Snuneymuxw City Mayor Leonard Krogh and the new 3 councillors. Congratulations. I would also like to acknowledge Snuneymuxw Chief Mike Wise, who is not present this evening. As an elder from the Snuneymuxw community, I have a protocol. So I will be doing my protocol this evening. And after I have done my protocol, I was requested to do my Ait Square song from some very young people in the audience. And I'm very glad to be able to bring this song forward. Siem na sochwan, siem na sietya, siem na squalaqua, antapet, schreitzowit, lolly good tennis, honey tamath na squish, tenisen at snenemo, quamlo at seashell. Honored elders, friends, relatives, I was born and raised Snuneymuxw, extended family roots seashell. Snuneymuxw she CME, Mostaya, Tlashan Sep Mak U Ha Ha Tamach. Snuneymuxw Chief Mike Wise and Council invite you all to our sacred lands. I'd like to start with and acknowledge worldwide frontline workers who risk their lives on a daily basis in support of their towns, their communities, their countries. Sisat Siem, Haichka Atanaquel, Thihuam, Lalamathat, Atakikalas, Aki, Mostayuch. Haichka, Atasaltans Atanaquel, Thihuam, we at Slachand, Atalatames. Sisat Siem Thihuam, at Watalchus Atanaquel, Tamaxquel, Stelatlamste. Creator, thank you for this day. Please look after those who are grieving and for those who are sick. Thank you for the food today. Please bring blessing and medicines to our tables. Creator, please help us all today and every day. I'd like to call upon the family members who are gathered here tonight with much pride for their loved ones standing here. I have brought my instruments and we are going to honor them with my Ait Square song. Now this is where you're going to be able to really sing for your loved ones here on stage. So I'm going to ask you all to come and grab an instrument. I believe I have enough for each and every one of you. I do ask, please return the instruments as I gather them myself and find and pay for all these myself. I have these instruments for your enjoyment tonight, so please make sure you return them. Haichka. Come forward, come on, up off your seats. And Thikwam, just let them pick them their own. Grab an instrument, Thikwam. Oh, yeah, up there. Maybe see if they all want one up there.
We're good. Oh, one more.
Thiefum, stay up here, line up here. Yeah, no, oh, no, sitting down. All stand up here, Thiefum, line up. Line up. Please, all line up, no sitting down. All line up here, Thiefum. All stand up, line up here. Please come forward and line up. Yeah, all the way down, just line up, Thiefum. Stand up, Thiefum. Stand up. Yeah, let's get all standing. This is going to be an awesome event tonight. Everyone grab an instrument and line up. Please line up, make a line.
Once you have your instruments, if you could please line up front here.
Thiefum, make a line. Move along and make a line, Thiefum.
We need everyone with the instrument to line up front and make a line up front here.
Yeah, Thiefum.
Don't take your seats.
Everyone,
Keep
Thiefum,
standing up.
Stand up with your instrument. Make a line, Thiefum.
That's right.
Please, if you have an instrument, Thiefum, stand up. Line up, Thiefum. Yes, there you go. Okay, awesome. Okay, line up, get yourself in a line.
Everybody do a
Right,
straight
yeah.
line up.
Okay, come on. Make noise. Woo! All right, you guys. When you see my hand go up like this, you're going to say, "I squeal." I squeal means good day. This is a good day for your loved ones standing up there behind you. So when you see my hand raised, you're going to tell them, "I squeal." Now, I want you to turn around and face. Right, well, mayor and councilors. Return the instruments, please, these ones.
Where do we return them?
Thank you. Namakwa.
Beautiful.
Oh, Namakwa.
We needed every instrument.
Thank you so much, Elder Lolly Good. That was wonderful. I now call upon the City of Nanaimo's Poet Laureate, Kamal Parmar.
His Worship Mayor Krog, respected city councillors, and honored guests. It's an honor and a privilege for me to stand before you and read my humble tribute to the wonderful and resilient citizens of Nanaimo. Who am I? A puny creature with a fist-sized heart, a giant microcosm of cells working with split-second precision. Am I an engineered structure of skin and bone with microscopic tubes coursing through it, all remotely timed, that runs its course, then vanishes into the blue like a candle in the wind? Wait a minute. You can call me puny, call me fragile. I'm much more than what you say. I'm a reservoir of strength, a mountain peak that faces blinding blizzards, yet I remain unscathed. 'Cause I'm strong. I'm that trickle of water that drips down softly till I become a thunderous waterfall, tearing through rocks and chiseling it into smithereens. I'm that tiny seed, half buried under gravel, who has not seen the light of the day, yet is able to rise to break through the hard, crusty soil, its tender leaves curling to breathe a new life. I'm a boat that crosses uncharted, stormy seas, spilling with lashing waters and giant waves, yet I sail on. There are moments when my boat rocks so hard till it almost overturns like a smashed matchbox. Yet I sail on. I will get up even when I've fallen many a time, 'cause I have resilience. Yesterday has gone. Today looks bright. Tomorrow still more promising, with glories to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamal Parmar. Mayor and councils, you may now be seated. We have some welcoming remarks from dignitaries. First, I'd like to call up MP Lisa Marie Barron.
Thank you, everybody, for having me here this evening. And of course, I want to first say a big thank you to Elder Lolly Good for welcoming us in such a great way, as she always does. I have more energy now than when I came in, that's for sure. I'd like to start with some thank yous to past city councilors Don Bonner, Zenny Martman, and Jim Turley. Thank you for your service to the city of Nanaimo. Your hard work through the last term in office is greatly appreciated. You helped the city through the challenges of unexpected and unprecedented times during the pandemic. and ensured that residents of Nanaimo continue to have access to the services they needed despite those obstacles. Well done, and I wish you all the best in your next endeavors. I'm certain that we will continue to see you all often. Next, thank you to all who ran for office in the municipal elections. I'm well aware of the leap of faith that it takes to run in an election as a candidate, of course. Thank you for your willingness to step forward and for all your work that went into you running your hard campaigns, your campaigns. To Mayor Krogh and Councillors Armstrong, Brown, Gisselbrack, Hemmons, and Thorpe, congratulations on your re-elections into these important roles. Your dedication and willingness to return to these positions speaks volumes about your commitment to our community. And to Councillors Eastmuir, Manley, and Perino, congratulations on your election. I appreciate your willingness to take on the responsibility of working together to govern our city. In my previous roles as school trustee and in my work in addictions, I saw firsthand the downloading that occurs to the municipal level when the federal government is not doing their part to ensure needs are funded appropriately with clear plans in place. The trickle effect that results directly impacts residents of Nanaimo in many ways. We are in a housing crisis, a toxic substance crisis, an environmental crisis, and our healthcare system has reached far beyond its capacity. We are all facing incredible challenges, it's for sure. We need all hands on deck with all levels of government. Municipal governments need and deserve a federal partner with leadership that prioritizes the needs of people and our environment. I make a promise to you today, as the Member of Parliament for Nanaimo Ladysmith, that I'm here to work alongside you to ensure the voices from Nanaimo are heard and to hold the government to account to follow through with the actions necessary. I'm beyond pleased to be here today to celebrate with the new council and their loved ones, to build on existing relationships and new, and to work together for the betterment of Nanaimo and all those who call this beautiful city home. Congratulations as you move forward as a new council. Haisepka.
Thank you so much, MP Lisa Marie Barron. I would now like to welcome MLA for Nanaimo North Cowichan, Mr. Doug Routley.
Thank you. I'm really nervous. I am, all these politicians. I'm really excited actually to thank the former councillors who served this community so well and welcome those who are new to the table and welcome back those who are returning. I spent the day talking about forest communities and forest workers being displaced by public policy and how we can blunt that and how we can make their lives better and mitigate impacts of decisions we make. And it reminded me that there are repercussions to everything that we do with public policy, that good public policy is flexible and responds to the needs of people, and there really is no level of government that does that more than local government. Local government officials face their voters every time they meet, and we in provincial government and federal government, it's a more theoretical exercise, and there are committees. This is real and it's immediate in people's lives. So many of the people I see in this room are faces that I see all over the community, George, they just keep reappearing in different forms, doing different things for different people, but still doing things for people. And that's what characterizes all of the people that are to my left here. I've seen them do so much in our community, and so have you, and you've rewarded them with your trust. And I know that they come into this with I know that I came with preformed ideas about things. I know that other councillors have talked to me about that personally. But the challenges of meeting the demands and needs of so many different people and balancing all of that tempers all of those presumptions. And I look to former Mayor Tan, I look to so many who provided examples of leadership that was responsive to people that I've been able to draw on. And I know that the people at this table are already doing that and will continue to do that. I'm so pleased, I'm so proud of all of you. I look to the firefighters of Nanaimo who have led the way in British Columbia in terms of protecting firefighter health and workplace health. I look all around this room is full of service. RCMP officers, so many people here who serve community really selflessly. I was recently touring someone from another jurisdiction, another country, and they asked me, you know, what do you call the Premier? I said, well, Your Honor, the Premier. And then we were to see a mayor, and they said, well, what do you call the mayor? See, I can joke because we're friends. and I can do that because Leonard and I served in the legislature together. I was deputy whip, and I had to call on people to speak at a moment's notice on any subject. It didn't matter what. And I could always count on Leonard Krogh, my friend Leonard, who, whether it was cardboard recycling, it would be related back to the Magna Carta. And it would make sense. And it's not just an outward-facing thing. He's enormously dedicated. I once at an end-of-session reception, I had to leave for family commitment. Leonard was going out the back door of the buildings, and I said to him, "You're not staying for the reception?" He said, "No, there's a 90th birthday party for a lifetime member out in Sydney, and I want to go there." And I thought, you know, that is really typified Leonard to me, the service that he gives to people. So thank you, my friend Leonard, and all of you. And now you can see that I've rushed here without a lot of preparation. But I have been prepared by a long time in office to be able to say to the people at this table that I hold them all in the highest respect. I know that the challenges you'll face along with the community will be nothing that we could imagine. How could we have imagined the recent challenges? But all of you are equipped to meet that challenge. You've proven it. People have given you their confidence. I'm very honored to speak here at the inauguration of this council. We have so much to work on together, with housing and every other issue. And it's my commitment and the commitment of the Premier and of the Cabinet in Victoria, all of us, to work closely with this community to answer the needs that you guys will face every meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, MLA Doug Routley. Now, the Honorable Judge Sheila Archer will provide the oath of office.
Good afternoon, everyone. I guess it's evening now. It's my pleasure to be here tonight. I'm a provincial court judge, and I sit in Nanaimo regularly. So I see the citizens of Nanaimo, and I see you here today. This is a very happy occasion, and I'm very pleased to be here to administer the oath of office to the mayor and returning councillors and new councillors of the city of Nanaimo. Now, the mayor will come up first, and then seniority for those elected, so they'll come up in order of their seniority. And then they will be followed by council in alphabetical order. So if you're wondering why they come up in the order that they do, that's why.
Here's the list.
Mayor Krogh.
So you'll stand here and read this, and then we'll sign.
I, Leonard Krogh, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of mayor for the city of Nanaimo to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of mayor diligently and with integrity, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct Bylaw 2022 number 7348 as amended and or replaced from time to time, and other statutes, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountability and responsible leadership.
Go here and you sign in front of the judge there. Well,
Councillor Ian Thorpe, please.
Bringing my own pen. I, Ian Thorpe, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the city of Nanaimo, to which I have been elected. I have not by myself or any other person knowingly contravened the Local Government Act, respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of councillor diligently and with integrity, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the Community Charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter, and will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in respect of the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct Bylaw 2022, number 7348, as amended or replaced from time to time, and other statutes, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountable and responsible leadership. Sworn by me at Nanaimo, BC, this 7th day of November, 2022. Thank you.
Councillor Cheryl Armstrong.
I, Cheryl Armstrong, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the city of Nanaimo, to which I've been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act, respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of councillor diligently and with integrity, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the Community Charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter, and will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in respect of the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct Bylaw 2022, number 7348, as amended or replaced from time to time, and other statutes, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountable and responsible leadership. Sworn by me at Nanaimo, BC, the 7th day of November, 2022.
Councillor Aaron Hemmens.
I, Erin Hemmens, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the city of Nanaimo, to which I have been elected. I have not by myself or any other person knowingly contravened the Local Government Act, respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to office. I will faithfully perform the duties of office of councillor diligently and with integrity, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter, and will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in the respect of the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct Bylaw 2022, number 7348, as amended or replaced from time to time, and other statuses, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountable and responsible leadership.
Councillor Tyler Brown.
I, Tyler Brown, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the city of Nanaimo, to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform my duties of the office of councillor diligently and with integrity, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter, and will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in respect of the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct Bylaw 2020, number 7348, as amended or replaced from time to time, and any other statutes, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountable and responsible leadership. Affirmed by me at Nanaimo, BC, the 7th day of November, 2022.
Councillor Ben Gesselbrock.
I, Ben Gesselbrock, do solemnly swear that I'm qualified to hold the office of councillor for the city of Nanaimo, to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of councillor diligently and with integrity, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter, and I will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in respect with the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct Bylaw 2022, number 7348, as amended or replaced from time to time, and other statutes, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountable and responsible leadership. Affirmed by me at Nanaimo, BC, the 7th day of November, 2022.
Councillor Hillary Eastmere.
I, Hillary Eastmere, do solemnly swear I am qualified to hold the office of Councillor for the City of Nanaimo, to which I have been elected. Excuse me. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of councillor diligently and with integrity, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter, and will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in respect of the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct, Bylaw 2022, number 7348, as amended or replaced from time to time, and other statutes, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountable and responsible leadership.
Councillor Paul Manley.
I, Paul Manley, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of Councillor for the City of Nanaimo, to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of councillor diligently and with integrity. I will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in any public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter, and will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in the respect of the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct, Bylaw 2022, number 7348, as amended or replaced from time to time, and other statutes, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountable and responsible leadership. Sworn by me at Nanaimo, BC, this 7th day of November, 2022. Do I keep the pen?
You'll come after.
Yes, I will. Last one, Janice Prue.
Councillor Janice Perino.
I, Janice Perino, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the City of Nanaimo, to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of councillor diligently and with integrity, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter, and will not participate in the discussion of the matter, and will not vote in respect of the matter. I will honor and abide by the Code of Conduct, Bylaw number 2022, number 7348, as amended or replaced from time to time, and other statutes, bylaws, and policies that govern the city, and conduct myself in a manner that reflects accountable and responsible leadership. Sworn by me at Nanaimo, BC, this 7th day of November, 2022.
Initial?
So we thank the mayor and councillors for their willingness to serve. Audience, please rise to welcome the 119th Nanaimo City Council for 2022 to 2026 term of office.
Thank you, Judge Sheila Archer, and I love your name. I am now very pleased to introduce and hand over the chair to His Worship Mayor Leonard Krogh, who will present the outgoing councillors with a gift for their contribution and service.
I'm going to make some remarks later, so I don't want to delay this part of the performance. But I would like to call up Councillor Don, former Councillor, I suppose, Don Bonner, to receive this gift on behalf of a grateful city and to say a few words. Photo op someone?
Thank you, Your Worship. Oh my, politician, a microphone, and I'm unfettered. How about that? What could possibly go wrong? I just want to thank everybody for being here, and I would like to acknowledge that we are holding this meeting, and I'm here on the traditional territory of Snuneymuxw First Nation. And I want to tell the new councillors coming in, the next meetings after this, they get more interesting than this one, so it gets better. And I would also, I had a number of things I want to talk about, but I just want to say thank you. This was 4 years that I'll never forget. And it was an honor and a privilege to be in this position. And I want to thank the members, the citizens of Nanaimo, and who put me there. I would also like to reach out and thank staff who put up with me for 4 years and helped me become a better counselor by helping me understand the role and what was going forward. So if I said anything to new counselors, the staff is there to help you make better decisions. So I want to thank that. And I also want to thank the council, former council members and current council members for being part of a team, because 4 years ago we started a journey that was pretty rocky to start out with. And but it was an important journey, and I think we did a pretty good job. I don't think I would change anything that we've done over these last few years. A couple of votes I might have voted differently, but other than that, I would have done the same thing as there. So I want to thank everybody in the community for giving me this opportunity. It's something that should be shared. Councillor Thorpe, don't be hogging doing the Councillor Piggy thing, and let other people do the job too. And so if I may have this opportunity to say thank you to everyone for allowing me to be here and to serve. And I think that's the important part here is we do this job because we want to serve our city and our community. So to everyone out here, citizens, staff, and council, Haisap Kasiyam Miigwech. Thank you.
Zenny Martman, it's your time on stage. A little round of applause as she comes up.
you. Wow. Can I put it down first? Wow. Good evening. 4 years ago, a new council was sworn in that promised to restore good governance to the city of Nanaimo. I believe we accomplished that and so much more. As Dawn said, it truly was an honor and a privilege to be part of this council and to serve this wonderful, beautiful city I call home. I thank all of you that have been so supportive in all my elections. The friends that I have made along the way, the experiences and the knowledge I gained, for this I have true gratitude. I thank each of you, and this isn't in any particular order: Leonard, Aaron, Cheryl, Tyler, Ben, Ian, Dawn, and Jim. Thank you for your leaderships when we were making decisions. And although we didn't always agree, we led by example that at the end of the day, we still liked each other and we still respected each other. For that, I am thankful. To the city management team led by Mr. Jake Rudolph, and to all the incredible, remarkable staff, far too many to name because I'm so afraid I would leave somebody else out. You are incredible. Your patience for all of us as we learned, your willingness to help us navigate many challenges, including COVID, and your humor, along with your dedication to this city, made our job that much easier. For that, I thank you. To the new council, you have now the official community plan, Reimagine Nanaimo, that thousands and thousands of citizens participated in, even though there was COVID. We have created the vision for our city now. Work with this document, create those action plans, and build a green, connected, healthy, empowered, and prosperous Nanaimo. We're counting on you. It takes more than a mayor and council to accomplish these goals, though. The reason Nanaimo is such a desirable place to live and one of the fastest growing cities in our country is the numerous volunteers we have amongst all our cities, and the social organizations and the service organizations, the chamber and businesses, and our partnership with Sunemo First Nations, the school district, VIU, and so many other stakeholders. This collaboration, this cooperation is what will make us successful. I will miss being on council and all the wonderful committees. I have always found some way to contribute, and I will in the future. But for now, I will focus on retirement and trust the universe to guide me. I want to give a special shout out to David Allen for his love and support. I don't think he knew what an election was like, and for walking with me on the next journey we have ahead. So my parting words for tonight is, ask not what our city can do for us, but let us ask what we can do for our city. Thank you.
last but not least, he's already approaching the podium. He wants to get this done. Jim Turley.
You notice the spring in my step. I had about a 15, 20-minute speech. However, I've been busy crossing out duplication because I'm not big on duplicating. So now I'm down to about 3 minutes. So please bear with me. 4 years ago, Mary Ann was here. I might get emotional, so bear with me. At the inauguration 4 years ago. However, 22 months ago, the love of my life left this world. City business gave me something to focus on during the illness and subsequent passing of the most important person in my life. I admit that sometimes I found it hard to understand why some issues were so important to some citizens. And sometimes my patience with that maybe was a little strained. But given what I went through, I'm not going to apologize for that. There are some things I'd like to say about our tenure the last 4 years. First of all, while my fellow councillors and I didn't agree very often on things, we always disagreed respectfully. And I think, I strongly believe that this behavior created a better working environment for city staff, which is what our ultimate goal was during the election 4 years ago. The empathy and support shown to me by council and staff helped me through the most difficult time in my life, and for that I'm extremely grateful. Our ability to work on issues that are within our legal and financial responsibility, despite pressure from some others who thought otherwise, I think spoke volumes of how we learned quickly and understood what the role of City Council really is. The development of better relations with senior governments that have encouraged, and we have encouraged them to help support some of these issues that we really don't have the wherewithal to solve on our own. We allowed staff to gain insight on issues through the use of experienced consultants, resulting in clearer choices when determining how best to solve the issue. While some may think this was unnecessary, my long business career taught me that the first knee-jerk response to an issue is not usually the correct one. And in closing, I'd like to say that to the incoming council that you would be well advised to listen to Mayor Krogh when he tells you that council lays the tracks, staff runs the trains. And I'm assuming he's going to use that one because he used it over and over with us. And finally, I want to thank those who supported me in 2018, and I hope you will understand my reasons for not continuing to seek your support for a second term. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. I, too, want to first recognize we're gathered on the traditional territory of the Snuneymuxw First Nation. I've actually got a sheet of notes tonight. Written with a fountain pen, I might add. And only because I didn't wish to take the risk of perhaps leaving out the number of people I want to recognize and thank you tonight. Firstly, I'm going to acknowledge friends and supporters in the large sense, because I think most of the people in this room I've either met or had acquaintance with or worked with at some time or place in my lifetime in this wonderful city, and I'm very grateful for that. I want to recognize former Mayor John Rattan, who's with us tonight. I was hoping Bill McKay would be here. If I start recognizing all the former councillors who are here tonight, I'm going to be in trouble. But let's just say, if you don't recognize them, come on. Raise your hands, all of you. Former councillors, don't be shy. These people turned over a wonderful city to the council that was sworn in here in 2018. I want to recognize the presence of Mayor Swain from Lantzville, newly re-elected, Bob Rogers from the Regional District, Councillor from Snuneymuxw First Nation up front, of course, representative of the Port Authority. I believe Jeet's here in that capacity tonight. There are a number of folks, and I could go on, including the university as well. But I also want to start off by recognizing the people who really make this city run, and that is the staff. From Jake on down as CAO, to the people who in the next few weeks will probably be out there at 2 a.m. plowing the roads and getting criticized for not miraculously going up the steepest hills immediately while they wasted their time plowing the main road that would allow an ambulance to get to the hospital. Now, I'm not being bitter about this, but let me just say the folks who work for this city take a great deal of flack from time to time, whether they're firefighters or the police who worked for us indirectly by us providing their budget. I want to give an opportunity to all of you tonight to give each and every one of them a signal by giving them the round of applause they so richly deserve. I want to thank everyone who's participated tonight in the ceremony. I won't mention your names all over again. They've been up here, they've spoken, whether it's our poet or my good friend Lolly. The members of the RCMP and the firefighters are here with us, Sheila Gurry, Judge Archer. Good people participating in their community. But I want to give a special shout out tonight to somebody who was, I think, the prime person, fair to say, responsible for putting this evening together, for giving us direction, for riding herd on council as she has done for the last 4 years. If you could just give a round of applause for the tall gal over in the corner who's sitting down, Donna Stennis, please. I also want to note that 4 years ago on election night, there's a wonderful photo taken, which no one has bothered to send me, I might add. And it was pictures of myself and the previous mayors of this city who were present that night, beginning with Graham Roberts and John Rattan and Gary Corpin and Bill McKay. And unfortunately, Graham Roberts is no longer here with us, nor here to celebrate tonight, but he was the kind of mayor who, even though he moved away from the city, loved it enough that he would come back for events because he, like all of us, and was and is in love with this place. I want to extend my thanks to the council that I served with the last 4 years in a general way. As Zenny pointed out so eloquently, we restored good governance to this city, and I say we. I don't think any of us can take greater credit than the other. The fact is that this city had developed a reputation that was less than enviable, and each and every one of them in their own way contributed to ensuring that we restored respectful behavior to council, that we set a good example for our citizens, and that we restored that confidence, which has enabled this city to see the incredible investment and development it has in the last 4 years. And to each and every one of them, I am incredibly grateful. As I indicated earlier, though, I just want to say a couple things about my friends Don and Zenny and Jim. Zenny and I go back the furthest. She was from Arrington, I was from Coombs. The line used, I believe, is Coombs fought, Arrington smoked pot. But we go back a long ways and shared a number of teachers. Jim and I go back to the early days of the Downtown Business Improvement Association, as I recall, both sat as trustees. And of course, no one who has been in business in this community or ever required a flower for any occasion would be unacquainted with Turley's Florists. And then there's Don Bonner, who used to joke that I only took him out for lunch when I thought he'd been bad. I say without hesitation, he was, and no disrespect to any members of the council, he was the hardest working member of our council, and he showed it and he was dedicated to it. I would be less than honest if I did not admit that I will miss each and every one of them and their opinion, but I suspect, knowing them as well as I do and having the respect that I do for them and the respect they have of their fellow council members, they'll no doubt not be shy about sharing their opinion when we appear to go off course or not perhaps perform in a way that is appropriate to the good citizens of Nanaimo. I look forward to working with this new council. This city has been living through some very exciting times. Unlike what Aaron pointed out to me once after we got into COVID, so Len, did you ever think you're going to be mayor of this city during a world economic collapse and COVID? No, I hadn't contemplated that, actually. But what is it Garrett has said? That which doesn't destroy you makes you stronger. So I'd like to think we are in some ways a better community, perhaps a little more divided around issues relating to COVID, but I'm not going to spend any time on that tonight, or the power of social media and some of the behaviors that get reflected in that. But the fact is this city pulled through, and we pulled through very well, and I give a great deal of credit to the ongoing, as I said earlier, work carried on by this city through its staff. It has been a remarkable 4 years. I can't say that I enjoyed every challenge, but you know what? A life without challenge is a life that's not worth living. Any of you who have ever talked to your parents or your grandparents or your great-grandparents, they talk about the good times, but what they often talk about are the tough times. The times that mold you, the times that shape you, the times that build character. Now, those are sort of shop-worn phrases, but it's true. And so having come through the last 4 years, I think we can all take a certain sigh of relief, but now look forward to what the next 4 years will bring. As we have seen incredible interest in this city, if we had turned off the building permit supply, so to speak, as of June 30th, we would have the second biggest building permit year in the history of the city of Nanaimo. Now, I'm not taking credit for that, but I mention that simply as a fact. The world has discovered us, and it's not surprising. We live in a moderate climate, in a beautiful island, in a liberal, stable, modern democracy. Unlike most of us, and this is a fairly political crowd, who are probably, like me, just worried a little bit about what may happen south of the border tomorrow. Power in this country, when there's election, passes with peace, in accordance with the law, without protest. And we should all be incredibly grateful for that. I can't help but think that as this city moves ahead, we should remind ourselves, and I know we've come through an era where there's been a great deal of criticism about all kinds of things, to remind ourselves that we're still the envy of the world. And this city is arguably the envy of the country. We're one of the 5 fastest growing regions in Canada. And I know that that growth is hard on people. I'm old enough to remember a quiet little Nanaimo where Commercial Street was our high street, where Eaton's was a big deal, where there were no malls apart from Terminal Park, which, by the way, thanks to Mladen Zorkin, was the first strip mall on Vancouver Island. Did any of you know that? It was a quieter, simpler community, but it harbored some darkness. It harbored relations with the Snuneymuxw First Nation, which were anything less than enviable. It harbored a fair bit of racism. It, as I've said it before, and I think I said it last time, it had what arguably Father Leo Roberts said to me once was Nanaimo's problem. It was a coal town with a coal town mentality. It was a place you came from. It's not a place you came to. It's a place where you hope to do better than your parents, and you did that by getting out of town. That just isn't true anymore. You can go through a wonderful public education system in this community. You can attend Vancouver Island University. You can get employment and training and education, and you can stay here. And it's what I said 4 years ago. I want to live in a community where if you want to, you can raise a family, you can prosper here, your kids can get educated here, they can stay here, and their children and their children and their children after that. And for that, I am incredibly grateful, because that's the kind of community we've become. And so many of us enjoy that great pleasure. I'm excited by a couple of things that are happening, the practical things. To all of you people who regard yourselves as firstly as taxpayers, not citizens, the good news is there's a hotel going in next door, and it'll help make this place prosperous. And guess what? You own it. So be happy. Be happy. Welcome every tourist who comes to Nanaimo, every conventioneer, because we need their money to make this place work properly and boost the tourism sector, which has taken such a horrible hit. I'm looking at Kim Smythe down here from the Chamber of Commerce, and he knows better than anybody how tough it's been for folks. The Mayor's Leaders Table, that will continue. And there is lots of hope in this community for securing the kind of funding we need from government, particularly for a new hospital. Any of you been up to NRGH recently? I hope not. Some of us have had more experience there in the last few years than we might wish. There's a lot to look forward to. And I am optimistic that the new premier, the incoming premier, will take seriously what was clearly the issue on the minds of most voters in this community. Yes, they were talking about the cost of housing, as they did in Vancouver and every other community. But what they were really concerned about, and what recent polling reported in the Vancouver Sun on Saturday confirmed, is that they are moved by 2 things. They're moved by compassion for the obvious and significant mental health crisis that exists in our streets, the criminal behavior that flows from drug addiction. Those things are the troubling issues of our time. The good news is Canadians are prepared to and support putting the money into that's necessary, because the most vulnerable amongst us continue to live in our streets. And I say with sadness and regret that this council, nor could any municipal government, fix these problems over the last 4 years. But I am hopeful, as I say, and optimistic, and my friend Doug is nodding sagely down here as the MLA in the room. I am hopeful and optimistic that the new premier will take seriously what was on the minds of voters across this province. Nobody wants to live in a community where so many of their fellow citizens are sick, are addicted, and are living in the streets. On a happier note, let me just say, somewhat jokingly, I said, 4 years ago, and it's borne out by the voting, council members, enjoy tonight. You will never be so popular again as you are tonight. And as most of you know, if you bothered to look at the numbers and the turnout and the number of votes we all got, even those incumbents, I was dead accurate. Dead accurate. I think the line of the night, though, goes to my friend, Councillor Ian Thorpe, who said earlier, well, we're all going to be sworn in tonight, but for the next 4 years will be sworn at. I joke about this because that is the nature of politics. People expect a great deal. It's like Chrétien's lovely line about everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to actually die. Everybody wants to live in a community with amazing services, but they don't want to pay for it. I believe this council has the courage to say to the people of this city what they need to hear, what they should hear, and be open and transparent about it and provide the same good governance with this new council that you've had for the last 4 years. So I'm excited tonight to say to you, we are moving ahead. We are going to work together. We will spend the next few weeks in training and reminder courses for some of us. Not thrilling for all members of council, I understand. Nobody likes refresher courses, but it doesn't hurt to have them, and it doesn't hurt to learn how to do the job, because believe it or not, politicians are not born to a separate class of mothers. They are not raised in some incubation station. They are not created in some unique environment. They come, as does this council, as do all of you, from all walks of life and all kinds of homes, and they're just trying to do the job that they can that you've given them in the last election. Councillor Bonner used the phrase, and so did Councillor Martman. It is an honor and a privilege to do this. It always has been. It always should be. I want to thank, finally, all of those people who took time to vote, those who took time to seek public office. And I just want to say, I think, notwithstanding not as many of you came out as I would have liked, you did a pretty good job in picking your council. We'll try not to disappoint, but all I ask is just once in a while, say something nice to your member of council. It won't kill you. It won't kill you, and you may actually get better government, although I'd be hard-pressed to think that we could have done even a better job than we have done in the last 4 years with all the challenges. My friends, thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you for honoring this council and outgoing members of this council by your presence here tonight. Your gratitude and your support is important to each and every one of us, and we do appreciate it. And finally, again, thank you so much to staff for putting tonight on and all of those of you who participated. Thank you. Yes. No. Guess what? This is where I get to start the official part of the meeting. You've heard the inaugural address. Sounds very pretentious, doesn't it? It's now time for the practical thing. Ms. Gurry, can you give us the official results of the last election, please?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. So this item is on the agenda for information, and it is a requirement of the Local Government Act, Section 158. It states that the Chief Election Officer, which is myself, must submit a report of the official election results for an election by voting within 30 days after declaring the official election results. The official election results were declared on October 19th, 2022, so this report is before you for that reason.
Thank you very much. The next item is the Regional District of Nanaimo Director Appointments. Ms. Gurry.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this report is for council to make an appointment of 8 council members with the highest number of votes at the municipal election as municipal directors to the Regional District of Nanaimo Board, and appoint the remaining council member as the alternate municipal director for the period 2022 November 7th to 2026 November 3rd to coincide with the council term. And number 2, the recommendation is to assign 5 votes to each municipal director, and that is the one of the options and the recommended option in the report this evening, Your Worship.
Your Worship, I'll move the recommended option.
Moved. Seconded, Councillor Hemmens. Any discussion? I didn't think so. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. The next item is the 2023 Vancouver Island Regional Library Board appointments. Ms. Gurry, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. So each year, council is required under Section 17, subsection 2 of the Library Act to appoint 1 councillor as a trustee and 1 councillor as an alternate to serve on the Vancouver Island Regional Library Board. Currently, Councillor Hemmens is the trustee, serving since her initial appointment in 2018, and Councillor Martman had served as the alternate. Both appointments expire December 31st. As outlined in the attached letter from the Vancouver Island Regional Library, reappointment of sitting members is encouraged for continuity with no more than 8 consecutive years. So the recommendation in front of you is that Council appoint one councillor as a trustee to the Vancouver Island Regional Library Board and one councillor as the alternate for the period of January 1st to December 31st, 2023.
Having consulted with council, I see Councillor Brown has a motion. No? I thought you'd make the motion. I'll let Councillor Thorpe make it then. Councillors Hemmens has agreed to be the director appointed, and Councillor Eastmere as the alternate.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm very pleased to make that recommendation that Councillor Hemmens be the delegate with Councillor Eastmere the alternate.
We have a seconder, Councillor Perino. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Congratulations. And normally at a meeting like this, I'd be turning to my friend Councillor Martman for the next motion. Motion for adjournment, Councillor Brown, seconded by Councillor Hemmens. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Thank you very much. We are adjourned. It is now time for a much-deserved reception, having had to listen to me tonight, so thank you.
What?